Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is F.A.M.E with Tiffany Renee, also known as the Golden Seat Life. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate you and thank you for stopping by. This video is long overdue. I know, I've been teasing it and I just haven't gotten around to making the entire video. But today, I am making the entire video on how I manifested meeting the iconic, the amazing, the one and only Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, do you hear what I'm saying? And I manifested seeing her in 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. From nothing. From nothing. That is the key here. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. Thank you all for being so patient. I see your comments and I see comments on my other social media pages and how this was an anticipated video. This is my third manifestation story about Janet Jackson. If you go back, I have 2 other videos from the last 2 years where I also manifested having pretty amazing Janet Jackson experiences. But this one right here, this one takes the cake. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me if there's anything else you want me to talk about, if there's other specific topics that you want me to cover, or if you want my explanation on certain things or my personal interpretation. Drop them in the comments and let me know so I can make sure that I'm catering to you. My allergies are acting up and I've been sneezing all day. I am hanging out at my family's house right now, and there's a gathering that's going to be going on. So if you hear some noise and stuff, it's just everyone's getting things together and cleaning and stuff like that. So, but we are here and we are about to get this video together. Hello, we got the ring, okay, the key earring. And we got the Janet hair. Okay, we are Janet Jackson today. Now, let's get started with this video. I made a teaser about this video late June, like the day after the concert. The concert was June 23rd, and I made a short compilation, like about a 3-minute long video. It's here on my channel. Check it out. I'll leave the link to that video in the description box below so you can watch it at your leisure. And it explains how I got to this point. I knew that Janet was coming because she announced the tour in like February. Now, I saw her last year, and you all may remember this because I made a video about it. I made a video about how I manifested being front row to see Janet Jackson. Okay, I didn't have a front row seat, but I manifested being put in the front row due to a random obstructed view. Okay, it was crazy. And so security put me right in the front row. I was Janet Jackson out, okay? I had my Rhythm Nation look. When I say the outfit was outfitting, okay, check out that video. And if you remember it, then you know how fantastic that outfit was. So I had the outfit, I had my ticket, and then my ticket got moved because it was an obstructive view, so I ended up in the front row. She had a meet and greet that year. I did not get a chance to meet her. I had just moved, and my intuition told me to make her a painting, but I didn't because I was so tired from moving. But I probably should have, because I recognized that that probably would have been my way to be put in the meet and greet line, because y'all know I don't pay for meet and greets, okay? If you do, that's awesome, but I just started manifesting circumstances to where I didn't have to pay for meet and greets. So I was bummed out that I didn't get to meet Janet. I have loved Janet since I was a kid, okay? Like, y'all know this. This is my 3rd video about her. And this would have been my 4th time seeing her live, okay? I said, it's okay. It's okay that I don't get this meet and greet this time. Bless, I'm sending love to the people who are going to meet her, because there's going to be another opportunity when she and I are in the same room, we're in the same vicinity, and I'm going to have my moment. I'm going to have my moment, and I'm going to be able to meet her. I just declared it back then. That was last year, last May, I think, when she was on the first part of her Together Again tour. I want to say like February or March. She announced the Together Again tour again for this year, back by popular demand. And I was like, oh, okay, this is clearly my manifestation. This means that because she's going on tour again, I'm going to meet her now. I defined her announcing the tour again as, hey, Tiffany, this is the universe calling, and we're letting you know this is your time to meet Janet. That's how I interpreted it, okay? Other people may not have viewed it that way, but I did. I interpreted it that way because everything is what we say it is, right? So because I made that decision that, oh, this is the year, this tour, oh, she's coming back. Of course, she's coming back to Indianapolis. She's from Indiana. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to happen. It is going to happen, period. This year, I'm meeting Janet Jackson. Life was lifing. Time was getting away from me. A whole bunch of circumstances was transpiring. Long story short, I was not prepared at all for this concert. And I was just devastated at first. I was like, man, I am not prepared for this freaking show like I was last year. I didn't have my outfit that I wanted to put together. I didn't have any money. Which, you know, sometimes that's a thing with my concerts. Like, I don't be having no money. I don't be having no ticket, right? But I still be getting and getting front row and backstage. But I didn't have any money. I had no ticket. I had no means to get the ticket. I had like $25 left to my name, okay? And I used $5 of that for Spot Hero to get a parking spot, to pay for parking. And if I wanted to get some water, which is like $5 in the venue, that's it. Like, I didn't have anything else. I waited until the night before the show, okay, to pull myself together because I had so much other stuff going on and I felt like I was starting to spiral. But I was like, you know what? I listened to Tom Caron. I was listening to, you know, Roxy and some other people, and I was getting inspired and uplifted. But Tom Caron said something. He gave an affirmation, and he was talking about you are fulfillment. That no matter what, I am fulfillment. Circumstances are circumstances, but I am. And so that really resonated with me at the time. And I thought it was such a good word in that video. And I was like, I like that. I like that. I am fulfillment. I am fulfillment. And so that whole night, the show was on a Sunday. So that Saturday night, the whole night, I kept just saying to myself all day and all evening, I am fulfillment. If I meet Janet, I'm still fulfillment. If I don't meet her, I'm still fulfillment. All is well. I'm still fulfillment. I am fulfillment. I am fulfillment. I am fulfillment. Everything is perfect. I am fulfillment. I just kept saying that over and over and over again. Every time the doubt kept creeping in, okay, that voice that was like, what are you doing? Just let it go. You're not going to be able to do it. It's not happening for you this year. Just let it go. Hopefully, there'll be another opportunity, but it's not happening. Just let it go. And then I would go back and say, no, actually, I'm fulfillment. It doesn't matter. Everything is perfect. I'm fulfillment regardless. And I started to feel a lot better. Nothing had changed in my 3D reality. I want to make that very clear. I didn't suddenly come into any money. I didn't suddenly get a ticket. My 3D reality did not change in any capacity. But energetically, I felt better. So that's how I knew that I moved to a different state. I moved to a different timeline. And I really want to drive that point home because so many times when we're trying to attract things and manifest things and call things into our life, we get discouraged because we're looking to the 3D reality, which is just a holographic mirror of things that we've manifested already. We're looking there for validation. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if you're in a pond and there's, you I don't know, there's muddy water or something. You know what I mean? You're looking for clean water in muddy water. The water's already muddy. It's not clean anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just want you to know that once you commit to something, you commit to your decision, you don't look to the 3D for validation, because you are the validation. The fact that you've said it and that you've declared it and you've affirmed it, that makes it valid. You've just validated your own desire by commanding it. Do you see what I mean? So the 3D comes after. The 3D is the result of the thoughts you've been thinking continuously, the assumptions that you've been making, the expectations that you have, and wherever that falls on the spectrum. That's what the 3D is. Don't look into the 3D for validation, because 99% of the time you're not going to find it until after it's already materialized. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So my circumstances did not change, but my mind did. My feelings did. My vibration did. My alignment did. And I actually felt like, you know what? This is going to be good. Everything is going to work out. I don't know how. I can't possibly know how, but everything is going to work out. Because my 3D is telling me it absolutely will not. But I'm saying it's going to work out. And I picked out something, you know, to wear. It wasn't glam or anything like that. I put my hair in a ponytail, put on my makeup, and I had this on, had the key and the earrings. And I just said, I'm just going to show up. That's what I was inspired to do. That was my inspired action. I was literally sitting on the couch watching watching TV late at night, and I said, I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to show up. And I said, yeah, just show up. Just go to the venue. Go to the venue early. You've been there before. Go to the entertainer's entrance area and just hang out. Because you never know. You may see her on her tour bus. She may come through. She may arrive in a truck or another vehicle. They might stop and see you. She might say hi. You never know. But you just need to go to the venue. And I was like, okay. And I got up and I got ready and I paid my $5 to park, and I had to walk 15 minutes to the venue to get the cheaper parking. But I was okay with that. I was okay with that. I had got me a little bag of cookies and a bottle of water because it was hot all week. But I had even declared that the weather's going to be great. I'm going to show up to the venue and the weather's going to be pleasant. It's not going to be humid and nasty like this, because I may have to be outside for a while. It wasn't humid. The humidity broke. It was like 80 something degrees. There was a breeze. It was hot, but it actually felt really nice. And I was like, oh, even the weather, I manifested different weather. What? Okay. So I get there and I'm just standing on the sidewalk. It's public property, so they can't tell you to leave. And you just drive into the dip for the parking for the tour buses and all that type of stuff. And I was talking to the security of the venue, and I told her what I was doing. My friend had called me, and I said, oh, I'm walking to the venue right now. Because I'm going to see Janet Jackson. I'm just showing up. And she was like, so what's your plan, though? I don't have one. My plan is to just show up and everything's going to work out. Now, to the logical mind, that sounds completely delusional. I know. That's valid. That's 100% valid. A lot of people probably wouldn't take a leap of faith like that. But I had decided, I was so sure that all I needed to do was show up. I was so sure that I was like, showing up is enough. Showing up is enough because I'm fulfillment regardless. I'm fulfillment. I dictate my reality. And I'm saying that this is all I need to do. That I just need to show up. And I just showed up. When I tell you the bridge of incidents and the series of events that transpired just by me showing up, family, let me tell you. I started by just having a conversation with security. And I told her, listen, I don't have a ticket, I don't have anything, but I have faith and optimism. walking by faith and not by sight. That's what I'm doing right now. And we're just going to see what happens. She was so inspired by that, okay, that she told me, you should record yourself. Record a video right now and put it on your social media pages saying that you are here waiting to meet Janet Jackson, that you want to see Janet, you want to see the show, and that you want to meet her. Record it and upload it. And I did not think about that because I really don't do that a lot when I'm going to shows, which I probably should do more often. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. It resonated with me. And so I recorded the first video saying, I'm out here. I might see her tour bus. I got this little flag. I don't know, but we're meeting Janet Jackson today. I'm meeting her today. We're going to manifest it, y'all. Watch the video, make it go viral, do whatever you got to do, but we're meeting Janet Jackson today. And I'll be back. That was the first video. And if you watch my teaser, you'll see that was the very first video. And I uploaded it to my social media platforms. I uploaded it to TikTok and everything. Within maybe an hour, I had met so many of Janet's team. They were coming, you know, in and out and everything. I met her makeup artist and everything, and a lot of her crew, and they were so nice. We were just talking about their tattoos, and they were talking about the tour and everything. And they would ask, oh, you know, you going to see the show? I'm like, no, I'm walking by faith and not by sight. I don't have a ticket. They would ask if I had a ticket. I said, no, I don't have a ticket yet. But I'm walking by faith, not by sight. Everything's going to work out. Something's going to happen. I'm optimistic that I am going to have an opportunity to see the show and to meet her. I'm optimistic. And they were like, okay, keep up that positive attitude. Or, oh yeah, law of attraction, right? Manifesting, right? Like, they were saying this to me. And I was like, holy crap, they know about manifestation and law of attraction and stuff. And I'm like, I'm taking this as a sign that everything is really for real about to work out. Because we're vibing, okay? This is tribe right here, okay? Right after that, a young man who I have seen at another Janet concert, he is huge fan. Thought I was a big fan. He is a huge fan. And I will call him Mark. And Mark popped up about a couple hours after I got there. And he is incredibly enthusiastic. And, you know, he met some of his people or some friends who he knew were walking past him and things like that. And, you know, he was like, oh, yeah, I'm here. Because he's never met Janet. And he's seen her like 7 times, right? And I still was just sticking with my own affirmations. I'm fulfillment. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. And the way her team was just kind of gravitating towards me, I was like, this is meant. This is like divine circumstances right here. So we're out there, and then he's there, Mark is there, and then all of a sudden I get this thing right here, like right in my face. And I step back and look at it, and it's a ticket. It is an actual physical ticket, okay, to the show. And it was given to me by one of her team. And he said, you just seem like too big of a fan to not be at the show. Because he asked me and Mark, hey, are y'all going to the show? Y'all have your tickets? And he said, yes, I do. And I'm like, no, but you know what? Something is going to work out. I'm walking by faith here, not by sight, but something's going to work out. Because I've loved Janet since I was 6 years old. Something's going to work out. And I'm just here. And he somehow, I don't know what he did, but he got me a ticket. I didn't even know where I was sitting. I didn't care. I'm like, I'm at least going to be in the building. And you know, I'm usually always in the front row. I didn't care about that. I'm like, I'm in the building. So I'm already winning. I'm like, do you see this manifestation? And if you saw the teaser, you see me literally holding up the ticket, telling you, hey, this is the update. We manifested. Do you see this ticket? Shortly after, another one of her crew, he had seen me a couple times. He thought I worked at the venue because I was just out there. And I was like, nah, I'm just here. And I talked to him, and he was so incredibly nice. And, you know, he was like, man, you know, you've been wanting to see her for like 30 plus years, man. Well, let's see what we can do for you, okay? He said, I'm texting somebody, but I'll be right back. He came back 20 minutes later. I was still there. He was like, okay, I'm waiting on some updates to try to see what we can do for you. But just hang tight. And in the meantime, come with me. And so he takes me into the venue, which is not even open yet for the public because it's still too early. He takes me inside the venue. We go to the merchandise booth. And he tells me, because remember, I have no outfit. I have nothing, okay? I have like this gray shirt on, okay, with like this sequins pocket, and that's it. And some black pants. He takes me to the merch table, and he says, get what you want. Y'all, I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. Do you hear me? Check out the teaser, and you'll see the pictures, okay? He said, get what you want. I was floored. He got some things for himself and he said, it's on me. Get what you want, it's on me. So I got this shirt because I'm like, this shirt is bomb.com. And I got a hat, a black hat that says nasty. And I was just so overwhelmed with gratitude that I started like to tear up. And we went back outside, and I gave him a hug, and we took pictures, and I was like, thank you so much. You're so amazing. And he was like, I'm gonna do what I can, and I'm like, listen, I got a ticket, I got merch, I'm ready, okay? I don't know what else you could possibly do to make this experience even better. So by that time, we had become friends. Okay, we were friends that moment. Like, he kept talking to me, and we even exchanged numbers at some point, like after the fact. Like, he called to check up on me to make sure I had a good time, like all that. So we was out there, and I'm like, okay, we friends now. Me and homeboy, we friends. And it was so sweet of him to do that. And I come outside, and Mark and the security, they're like, oh my gosh, look at you. And I put everything on over my own clothes. I'm like, I don't care. I can't believe this is happening. I was so full of gratitude. Like, I could have burst with gratitude in that moment. I'm like, this manifestation is getting better and better. So then it's time to go inside. I go inside and get my ticket. I have no idea where I'm sitting. Turns out I'm in the upper, like the higher area. I'm like in the front row, but of the higher spot, which is totally fine because I was just happy to be in the building. I do get vertigo if I'm up too high because beneath me it was a direct drop to the next level instead of a slant like at the amphitheater. And because it was such a drop and it was like straight down from me, I started feeling the vertigo kind of take place. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna sit here. This was a gift. I'm gonna have a good time. And Nelly performed. He opened up the show, and I was jamming. And then I got a phone call from merch guy, and he was like, "Hey, I'm trying to work something out for you, and you're my friend now. You know what I'm saying? So as a friend, I really want to do something special for you. So somebody might be reaching out to you. I got to get on the road and get to the next city, but somebody might be reaching out to you. If you see a strange number, answer it." And I was like, thank you so much. I cannot make this up, okay? Nelly finishes performing. There's an intermission. I get up reluctantly because my head is spinning at this point. The vertigo is just really getting me. But I'm like, just sit here. Like, my ego is like, just sit here. Just sit here and be grateful. Just sit here and be grateful. But my intuition said, get up and go out and find somebody and see if you can just go down to the next level. That's all. Get up and go out there. So I got up, feeling dizzy, went back upstairs, and I'm just walking around, not even knowing who I'm supposed to be asking. And then I find this young man, and he just happened to be working for customer service. I've been to that venue so many times. I have never run into a customer service person just chilling, just walking around with his little tablet. Like, I've never seen that before. So I'm like, dude, you were placed there. And his name, he had the same name as my dad. Even his middle initial. It was crazy. I'm like, clearly you were divinely put here. He had the same name as my dad. And we sat down, and I told him, look, I have vertigo. I was going to try to handle it. And he was like, okay, just so you know, if you think you may have any issues in the future, give us like a 2-hour window, because sometimes it gets harder to place people. And he was like, who else are you with? I'm like, I'm just here by myself. He said, it might be easier to place you then because you're by yourself. Give me 5 minutes. And he got up, he did something, he came back, and that's when he told me his middle name started with the L, because I'm like, oh, that's my dad's name. If your middle name starts with the L, then I know that's gonna be crazy. He was like, my middle name, it does start with L. It's Levante. I was like, I said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And he was like, it was meant to be. And he gave me a fist bump. I said, it was meant to be. I was meant to run into you. He gets a notification. There's a whole list of people ahead of me, okay? Because it was like for people who like maybe need to be moved for wheelchairs or have to be moved for other medical reasons or anything like that. It was a long list. Somehow, some way, through divine measures and me continuously saying my affirmation, I'm fulfillment, all is well, I'm fulfillment, everything is perfect. He had a response for me in 5 minutes from his team, and they were like, hey, we got a ticket. And he said, oh, they found you a new seat, and here's the new ticket. He wrote it down, and he said, I'm going to escort you there. It's actually on the floor. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? I was in the nosebleed, the front row of the nosebleed section, and then all of a sudden, I get moved all the way down to the floor. And it was on the side. It was a good floor seat as well. And I was able to move and get even closer because there's a bunch of tall people in front of me I couldn't see, so I could get even closer. I was at least in the first maybe 20 rows, 10, 20 rows. And I was on the corner, and I just had like really good views. Listen. So as I'm being escorted down to the floor, Mr. Man, has my hand because the steps are steep, and he wants to make sure I'm safe. And I feel like I'm being treated like a queen, and I love this. I get a phone call from a number I don't recognize. And I tell him, oh, hold on 1 second. And I answer. And it's someone from Janet's team. And he is in charge of the meet and greets. And he's like, hey, you need a meet and greet, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, how many people are? I said, it's just me. And he was like, okay, I will call you. And I said, I'm heading down to the floor. He was like, I'll text you. I said, okay. And I was like, this is confirmation that it's going to happen. This is confirmation. This is going to happen. I get down to the floor. I'm getting my life, okay? Getting my life. I'm sitting next to this couple. They're just standing there with their arms crossed, just tapping. And I'm all over the place. I'm doing the whole choreography to Miss You Much right there in the aisle, okay? And I'm having a good time. I am basking in the experience. I'm basking in the gratitude. I recorded a video about how I was up in the top and got down to the bottom. Listen, when I tell you I was so overwhelmed with how everything was orchestrated. So while I'm getting my life, I get text messages. I get 2 text messages. One's like, hey, Tiffany. And the next one is, meet me over at section such and such after the show. I was like, oh my gosh, I could perish right now. I'm about to meet Janet Jackson. I'm going to meet Janet Jackson. So the show ends. I get over to that section. I'm walking, and I meet this gentleman, and he's, trying to get everyone else who, paid for the meet and greets and all that stuff, get everyone together. And then he asked me, so who are you with? And he was like, who are you friends with? And I told him who I'm friends with the other guy who I became friends with, and from her team. And he was like, oh, okay, you're his friend. Okay, come on. I get put in a separate section. And security comes and gives everybody their little VIP patches things. Mine looks different from theirs, okay? Everyone else's, they have the ones that paid for the experience, and it says like VIP and all that type of stuff. Ours were different. Ours said guest of the artist, okay? Guest of the artist. And her initials were in there, guest of Janet Jackson. That is what mine said. It was me and just a couple other people, like 3 or 4 other people. I think it was maybe just 5 of us total. Listen. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I went from being outside with nothing, no way and no how, except just trusting and saying, even in my doubt, I was like, I am fulfilled. Whether it happens or not, I'm still fulfilling it. I'm still fulfilling it. Everything is perfect. It doesn't matter. Everything is perfect. It doesn't matter. Everything is perfect. It doesn't matter. Next thing I know, I'm sitting there with a tag on me that says I am a personal guest of Miss Jade. Okay? So we all get taken down into the like VIP holding area, the lounge, and they tell us the difference between us and the people who paid. And we had rules and we couldn't have our phones, and they gave us bags to put our phones and everything in and stuff like that. And then I met another young man and his mom, and he is from Indy, but he lives in California. And he came all the way to Indy so him and his mom could go. And they were also guests of the goddess. And when I tell you, we talked about manifestation, I said, I don't know if you believe in it. He said, I surely do. And I'm like, I met another person into manifestation. I love this. I love this for us. I really do. And so I am behind them and I'm walking. They have us walking. And then we're in the hallway. They gave us water. And we're just kind of waiting in the back area. And Nellie walks past us. So I just saw Nellie like up from the nosebleed section. I went from that to him walking right past me and him just saying like, what up to everybody. I've seen Nelly once before, and I was front row, him and Ludacris, and he was like all in my phone. I have so much good footage of him. But it's just the fact that, dude, I just saw you perform, and I was in the nosebleed, and now I am backstage, and you're walking right past me. Come on with the come on. Come on with the come on. Okay? The guy and his mom in front of me, they go when they say, okay, we're ready. They go in. After a few minutes, it's my turn. They take my bag and they have me go in, and she is there with all her glory and her braids and her hoodie and everything. I think I did this. And I was like, can I give you a hug? And she was like, yes. And she was like, I hugged Janet Jackson. Listen. Say what you want about, but we all have like those special celebrities, especially that give you childhood nostalgia. Like, I was loving her since I was a child. And growing up in Saudi Arabia, we weren't allowed to listen to her music. And so we would get in trouble listening to her music. And so it was just like full circle moment because we would just go back and get it again. So I was telling her that story. And I'm like, your reach, it reached 2 black kids all the way in Saudi Arabia, like me and my brother. I'm like, that's how far your reach for your music was. So it meant so much to me to be able to tell her that. And she was like, oh, wow, that's so sweet. And she was like, and tell your brother I said hi. And I was like, I will. And I hugged her again, and then she put her arm around me. Like, I don't really cry at all when I meet celebrities. I started tearing up. Like, I was about to cry when I saw her. And I was like, we are not going to cry in front of Janet Jackson. And she was like, it's okay. But by the end, when I was thanking her, the tears was coming, and they started to flow. Like one tear, when it was time to take the picture, one tear was coming down, and there's a shine on the picture from the one tear. And she put her arm around me, and her photographer took our picture, and I was in this shirt. Like, she hugged me in this shirt. And it was the best thing ever. It was the best feeling ever. Oh my gosh. After the fact, you're always like, oh, I should have said this, or I should have mentioned that, or didn't matter. I was just trying to be present because I really could not believe that I was looking at the iconic, the legendary Janet Jackson. Like, Mm-mm. From nothing. From nothing. Do you hear what I'm saying? I walked out. They escorted me out and they gave me my bag and everything. And they were like, thank you. And I was like, thank you guys so much. God bless y'all. Thank you. When I tell you, my heart was so full. My heart was so full. And I ran into the young man and his mom, and we were so excited. We could not wait. They said the pictures we uploaded in a couple days. It was Sunday. They were like, give us about 72 hours, between 48 and 72 hours, and it should be uploaded. And so we had a QR code that we were going to have to scan. And we were like, okay. And we were just basking in the fact that we had just met her. And, he gave me his card. We exchanged business cards, and we follow each other on Instagram now. And when I go to California, I will be hitting him up, okay, because he invited me to come out there. Absolutely. And he was just very, very nice, and his mom was so sweet. I got outside the venue with my bag, with my stuff in it, and with my merch, my hat, and I was still emotional. I texted my brother like, hey, I just met Janet Jackson, and she said hi. And then I'm outside the arena. It's dark. It just started to get a little bit humid. My feet hurt, my knees hurt, but my heart is so full, and I'm still emotional when I get out there and I record and I say, mission accomplished. I just met freaking Janet Jackson. And I keep rewatching that because it just still blows my mind to this day how nothing, I know I keep saying there was nothing, but when I say from nothing, nothing. And Michael Beckwith in the movie The Secret had said, out of no way and no how a way will be made. Baby, truer words were never spoken. And Neville Goddard always, always talks about, do not be double-minded. Once you decide on an outcome, hold tight to that outcome. Because I'm going to butcher his quote, but basically he had said, we already have all of our desires. We have everything that we want, but it's our failure to believe that we do that keeps it away. That creates the illusion that we don't have it. And if you follow Roxy Talks, she has been promoting this book, The Holographic Universe, that she's been reading by Michael Talbot, and I ordered it. And it's an incredible book because, I love everything quantum physics-y. It's an amazing book. It was written in like 1991, and the author, he died in 1992. He had, I believe it was cancer, and he died. And he was only 38 years old. He was only 38 years old. And he wrote this book, and then he died. And we're still reading this book to this day because it's really, really incredible. I've gotten through the first 2 chapters, but I want to read something here that a physicist who he cites has said about the observer effect. And the physicist's name is Nick Herbert, and he supported the idea of the observer effect, how nothing is there until you observe it, basically. That everything is just kind of floating around, waves or particles or things like that, until you observe a reality and then it materializes, So hopefully I'm explaining that okay. I'm explaining that okay. But he said, likewise, humans can never experience the true texture of quantum reality because everything we touch turns to matter. Humans can never experience the true texture of quantum reality because there is really no out there. Is that famous quote? And, quantum reality, it's so many different quantum possibilities and probabilities, but a lot of it is just made up of waves. and frequencies and things like that. So we'll never actually be able to experience what those waves and frequencies and all those particles are, because our observation hardens those things into a fact, into a tangible item, into a tangible experience. So he likens it to the Midas touch, where King Midas was obsessed with gold, and he was given this. Some people say it was a curse, but this ability that everything he touched turned to gold, including people he loved, his family and his court and his friends and his food. So everything turned to gold. So that's how he was liking this observation to King Midas. So every time we look at something is when it hardens. It becomes hard. It becomes an actual 3D reality. But if we don't look at it, something that you're not paying attention to, it's not there. That's kind of the assumption, with quantum physics is that's like one of the big questions. So with my experience, I didn't have money. I didn't have a ticket. I did not have a ticket to the show. I didn't have any merchandise to wear. I didn't have no cute outfit. I had no meet and greet pass. I didn't have any connections. I didn't have anything. But I observed it in my imagination. I chose it in my imagination, knowing that there is a version of me in the quantum field. There is a quantum possibility that already exists where I already have those things. So I had to observe it in my imagination. I had to declare it. I had to say that I had it, to light it up. Okay? To light it up so it can harden into an actual fact, so it could harden into an actual 3D experience. Because I wasn't looking at it, because I was very doubtful in the beginning. And so what I was looking at was, I was observing the version of me, or the timeline, or the quantum probability where I didn't have any means, and I was doing nothing but doubting it. And so of course 3D reality hardened into an experience where I experienced not having any of those things and feeling worried and stressed. But the minute I chose differently and decided to do something different, and decided, you know what, I'm fulfillment regardless. I am all quantum possibilities. All quantum possibilities exist within me, and I'm going to choose which one I want. I'm choosing that I'm there. It's there. I'm there. Everything is perfect. Everything is working out. And whether it actually works out or not is still irrelevant, because it doesn't change the fact that I'm still fulfillment, and I'm still the creator of my own reality. I'm the chooser of my own reality. That doesn't change. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter. Right? So that moved me over into the quantum possibility that hardened into fact. It turned into matter. It went from just being a quantum possibility out there in the quantum field to matter. What was the matter? The physical ticket that I was given, the physical merchandise that I was gifted, the physical seat upgrade that I was given, the physical meet and greet pass that I was given, and the physical meet and greet experience itself. It all hardened into matter. Do you see what I mean? It went from up here, okay, it went from being in the quantum field of infinite possibilities in the realm of my possibility. Remember, everything that you think is possible is based off of what you define as being possible. It has to be in the realm of possibility for you. It was in the realm of possibility for me. Like, I don't know how, but I'm meeting this lady, and I'm about to be up in there, and I'm going to see the show, and everything's going to work out. Do I know how? Absolutely not. Is there doubt there? Yep. And you know what? Doubt, you're allowed to be there, but it's irrelevant because I'm still fulfillment. Do you see what I'm saying? And it hardened into a tangible experience for me because I observed that reality in my imagination from the quantum field, and the quantum field brought it down and hardened it into an actual physical experience. That is what we do for everything. Whether you think you're doing it or not, it doesn't matter, because that's what we're doing. That's how we're alive. That's how we're here. That's how we're having a human experience. It doesn't change. And it can serve us or it can go against us. And that's where mindfulness comes in. And I'm not saying it's easy. It is simple. But I'm not saying it's easy, though, especially if you have a lot of programming, if you have a lot of trauma or limiting beliefs or beliefs that the probabilities are weak, in that the chips are stacked against you. If that's your core underlying narrative and you're telling yourself that narrative all day, every day, then that is what's going to harden into fact for you. Those assumptions, those thoughts, those beliefs, those interpretations, those expectations, that is what you are going to experience. When I tell you, it would have been so easy for me to just say, nope, I'm going to chalk it up as a loss, not this time. That would have been easy because it would have made logical sense to just not do it, to just give up and let it go, right? Just like so many other things in our lives that we do that make logical sense to stop pursuing, or to stop thinking about, stop hoping for, and stop dreaming for. It's easy a lot of the time to just say no, throw in the towel, and chalk it up as a loss. Not because you don't really want it, but because it's familiar. It's so familiar for us to doubt ourselves and to doubt our abilities and to doubt what is possible, because a lot of what we think is possible, a lot of our beliefs of what we think is possible for us, is not based on really what we have decided. It's based off of our conditioning, what maybe your parents have told you, or what society has told you, or what your teachers have said to you, what you've witnessed within certain dynamics, or what you've witnessed on television or on social media. A lot of those things play a part in defining for us what is and is not possible, and who it's possible for. Like, oh, it's possible for her, but it couldn't be possible for me. Oh, it's possible for them, but it's not possible for me because they have these advantages, or they have this, or they have that, or they did this, or they have that, or they grew up this way, or they naturally whatever. All of that, you're just arguing for your limitations. Because at the end of the day, there is no out there. There is no past. There is no future. And Tom Caron explains this so well when he talks about that. There is no, oh, I've always wanted to meet Janet, but I've never had a chance. It only exists, that memory exists, because I keep saying that I've never met her, I've never met her, I've never met her, I've never met Janet, I've never met Janet. I've always wanted to meet her. I've always wanted to meet Janet. I've never had a chance to meet Janet. I am creating that past in the present right now. That past doesn't exist. And when I realized that I was doing that and started deciding that I'm fulfillment, and I don't need any experience to happen in order for me to still always be fulfilled, it doesn't matter, because experiences are just going to be experiencing. As Tom always says, experiences are experiences, but I am never changes. Conditions and circumstances change. Your emotions and feelings change, but your I amness never changes. The fact that you are fulfillment, the fact that everything is in you, that the entire universe is inside of you, and that our very existence is coming from the inside out. Our life is a projection of what we think and feel and believe and narrate about ourselves internally, and it's projected out. And we're watching it like we're watching our inner movie. And it's what you think and believe and feel about everything from Pop-Tarts to politics to entertainment to your wellness to money to relationships, whatever those core underlying beliefs that are inside of you, whatever those stories are that you are feeding to yourself, you're literally putting in a movie reel of all of those thoughts and beliefs, and they're being played out in front of you so you can see them and experience them. That is what reality is. That's what life is. And, well, I will say that's what appears to be real, because it's real, but it's not actual reality. Reality is us. Reality is something that never changes. That's the real definition of reality. Reality never changes. What never changes? Your I amness. You can create the illusion that it changes. You can create the illusion of lack. You can create the illusion of poverty and suffering. You can create the illusion of anything you want, and it will be a very, very real experience, but it's not reality. It is just an experience that is being chosen consciously or unconsciously. And you're just watching it play out. And I realized that during this Janet experience. So after I got outside, I saw some of the other people from the meet and greet come out who were there, and I saw Mark, who was her biggest fan. He, was outside and he was waiting to hopefully see her because he didn't meet her or anything like that. And I come out and they see me, and one of the girls was like, "Wait, were you the girl who was out here all day earlier?" "Yes, ma'am." "Yes, ma'am." He's like, "Oh my God, you got to the show and you got to meet her?" "Yes, I did." "Thank you very much." And even Mark was like, "What? How did you get the hook? How did you like, oh, was it so-and-so? Was it so-and-so? Like, what happened?" They blessed me. Her team blessed me, okay? They had the means to do so, and they chose to do so. And I feel like I moved into a timeline where they were already chosen. They were already part of that timeline. The path was already made, and those particular individuals who did those things for me, it was already established that they were going to be the ones to guide me and connect all the dots and connect the bridge of me having the experience of what I had imagined and what I had been affirming. Ah, man. So just let what I've said today, just let it marinate. Meditate on it, digest it, absorb it, because I'm telling you, even retelling this story is food for my own soul, because it's, reminding me of our power. And it's a wonderful reminder that I really needed at this point too. So I can't tell you enough. Like, I will upload, the picture right here, if you haven't seen it, of me and Miss Jackson. And please check out the teaser video that I uploaded, and I will leave the link to that if you want to watch the teaser. It's only like 3 minutes, 3 minutes long, and then you can come back and watch this video. But I'm just saying, I'm so grateful and so excited. This was like one of the best. This was like, seriously, like the most iconic concert manifestation I've ever experienced. Because usually I have something. I didn't have a painting for leverage this time. I didn't have any money. I had no ticket. I had no connections. I had no nothing. But the connections came while I was there. All I did was I said, I'm walking by faith, and something's going to work out. Optimism and faith, and I'm just going to show up, and everything is going to work out. and I met some of the best people, became friends with them, and because of that fresh friendship that happened within like an hour, it started a whole nother chain of events. And they were just so inspired by my faith and just the fact that I just took a chance to just show up. And they were just like, man, I just felt like I needed to do something for you because, like, you really, I could tell that you really love her, and I really, I don't want to see you not there. I don't. It's like they were rooting for me. That's how I know they were divinely put there, because they were rooting for me. Okay, her team was rooting for me. The security venue was rooting for me. One lady at the venue, one of the security young ladies, she said, "I've been working here for 3 years, and I've been working concerts for 3 years. Never have I ever seen anything like what happened to you today. I've never seen it in the 3 years that I've been working here. It's never happened. I've never seen an artist team go above and beyond for somebody, for a fan, ever. I've never seen this happen before." Because in my reality, all things work together for my good, and everything works out from the best case scenario, right? Just like in your reality, everything always works out for you. Everything always works out for you. You are treated like royalty everywhere you go. Why not? Why would you not be? It's your reality. This is your life. This is your world. And literally, we're just in it. Just like this is my world and everyone else is just in it. Like everyone else is just players. I'm a player in other people's lives and realities. I have no say. I have no say so in what you can or cannot have, or what you can or cannot be, do, or no. I have no say so in that. You choose what you want. You choose what you desire. And you hold steadfast to that. If you need to use a technique to help get you in that alignment space, to get you in that vibratory space, so be it. Then use a technique. If you need to script it, script it. If just saying affirmations, some people do robotic affirmations, some people just need to sit and meditate, some people just need to turn everything off and just maybe read or just sit in silence. Some people want to do the cup method. Some people do the was it 369, I think, method. There's so many techniques. Some people draw and paint them, which I've done that, and I've manifested some pretty awesome things by drawing them. Do whatever resonates with you. Do whatever resonates with you. But just know that it's not the technique that's getting you what you want. That's just getting you more in alignment and helping raise your vibration into that gratitude status, that it's done status. But there is no technique that does anything. The technique itself is not causing the manifestation. You are. Your choice is what's causing it. The minute you've chosen, it's done. And I know you hear that so much and we don't believe it a lot. This right here, this story, this for me was 100% evidence that is literally all it is. The minute you choose the experience that you're going to have and you don't waver, even when the doubts are coming, even when you think you're having memories of similar situations that didn't work or whatever, do not waver. As long as you stick with that choice, it is done. I stuck with this choice. I was like, I'm meeting her, and I'm meeting her today. And I'm going to record this so you guys can see it, so you can follow my journey. And everything happened 4.5 hours. I got there around 2:30, 3 o'clock. By 7, I had my ticket, I had my merch, and I had a new friend, and friend was trying to get me a meet and greet. By the time the show was over, halfway through the show, I got confirmation, come get this meet and greet and come meet the iconic Janet Jackson, who you love so much. So I'm gonna leave it there. It was a long video. I know, you know how I do. Thank you all so much for sticking with me. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what you want to see from me next. Leave some suggestions, and I will make videos according to what you want to see. Until next time, take care of yourself. I'll see you. Bye.